RG hospital. The rape and murder took place. A protesting mob. It's a knife attack by patient on a doctor.
India's GDP is the third biggest after China and USA. India ranks first in the IT sector. India is the third biggest producer of pharma drugs globally. At the same time, India ranks second globally when it comes to attacks on doctors and healthcare workers. In India, at least 75% of the doctors face violence once or the other time during their practice. Hundreds of cases are being reported every year, and we don't know how many are not being reported. And these attacks are particularly on young doctors aged between 25 to 35 years age. And the report says that 40% of these attacks are on the gynecology department doctors and at ICUs. Every year, at least 10 to 15 times, doctors go on strikes and protest. That is almost like once every month. Reports from 2022 says that 45% of the doctors have a fear of getting attacked by patients. 57% of the doctors don't sleep properly in the fear of getting attacked in hospitals itself. And 60% of the doctors have had a thought to hire a personal security. And 82% of young generation doctors having stress in this particular topic. Doctors being the major pillars of healthcare system in a country like India, why central government is not protecting them? Why no celebrity or politician are raising a voice or supporting doctors when an incident like this happens? Are there any laws against these attacks on doctors in India? And what is this Central Protection Act and why every doctor should know its importance? Namaste everyone, this is Dr. JT. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel, and this is a very important topic, not just for the doctors, for the common people also. Let's know it. Now the question is, world's most popular country like India and many attacks happening on doctors, why central government is not bothered at all or had any laws against attacks on doctors and other healthcare professionals? Interesting thing is, public health and law enforcement is under the control of state government and not central government of India. Yes, there are laws, not 1, 2, 3, there are 28 laws for 28 states. That is, each state has its own laws for protection of doctors. Let me surprise you with more facts. These kind of laws for protection of doctors was first proposed by Andhra Pradesh state in 2007, but it was first strictly implemented in the state of West Bengal in 2009. Yes, it's the state where the current issue is going on, where doctor and rape in RG hospital in Kolkata. And that law is West Bengal Medicare Services Persons and Medicare Services Institutions Act 2009. According to this particular law, how the state is protecting the doctor? If an attack happens on a doctor, 3 years jail and 50,000 fine will be imposed, and it is a non-bailable offence. That is, he or she who attacks the doctors will not be coming out on bail, and they will not be released, and they will be arrested at any cost. After this implementation of law of protection in West Bengal, many other states in India have implemented similar law. By the end of 2012, every state in India had a law of protection for doctors. Then what is the problem? Having the laws is not enough. Implementing the laws is very important, and changing these laws with the change in events and attacks that are happening on doctors every year should be there. And that kind of strict implementation is not there in any state. Even after registering the cases, there are delays and incidents of negligence in police investigation and delays in judicial hearing, and strict punishment to culprits is taking much more time. And during this period of time, everything is being forgotten and a new attack is happening on the doctor. And this cycle keeps on continuing. And as there are no strict laws or punishments against this particular offense of attacking doctors, even the culprits are not having any fear or doubt to attack healthcare professionals. More importantly, 95% of the people don't know what are these laws that are being implemented in the state regarding the attacks on doctors. Lack of awareness. Leave the common people. Let's ask the doctors. How many of you doctors know your state laws with regards to the protection of doctors? 80% of the doctors don't know what are these state laws and how they can use them for their protection. Lack of knowledge. Even the politicians are not showing proper interest in these kind of issues is really sad. They might be underestimating the situations because they see us like a working labor. Lack of attention. So what is this Central Protection Act for doctors? In 2020, IMA, Indian Medical Association, in view of increasing attacks on doctors, have asked a set of advocates to draft a list of central laws for doctors. That means according to these laws, both legal and also physical protection of doctors will be coming under central government of India. Let's see what does this Central Protection Act says and how it is different from the state laws. Central Protection Act says this law will apply same for all the states and union territories in India. That means whatever framework of laws that are implemented by the central government will apply for all the states equally and uniformly. So there will be consistency in the legal protection given for the doctor. During COVID-19 2020, the Epidemic Diseases Amendment Act was passed by the central government of India. According to this act, any person who attacks doctors during the pandemic will be punished by the central government of India. But now as the pandemic is over, this law is of no use. Again, an epidemic or pandemic should come for this law to apply for doctors. Under Central Protection Act, any type of attack, be it slapping, verbal abuse, weapons used on the doctors and life-threatening harm, irrespective of the intensity of the attack, the person will be arrested without any warrant and he will not be given any bail at any time. But state laws has different rules for different kind of attacks. For example, if it is a slap, less punishment, write an essay of 300 words on doctors. If it is a life-threatening harm, then only he will be jailed or arrested. Under Central Protection Act, central government has strict timelines. For example, if a doctor was attacked, immediately the case should be investigated in 24 to 48 hours and the culprit should be arrested and the culprit should be introduced into the court at the next day and the court should give judgment immediately. So there is no delay in action, investigation and judgment. But all these activities will be carried out by the state government law enforcement but by central government's rules and regulations, and central government has every right to come in middle of the investigation if they feel that state government law enforcement is not properly investigating the case. But when it comes to state laws, there are no strict timelines and no strict judgments. Central Protection Act by the central government will be giving certain set of guidelines for the state government and will monitor whether they are following it or not. And central government will also give funds for the state government for awareness campaigns and will also coordinate all the states in this particular issue. But state laws do not follow all these things. They might feel this is a small issue or issue of no interest, or they might say there are no funds at all. Importantly, under Central Protection Act, central government will be monitoring every state whether they are following these particular laws or not, and they will be appointing special task forces in every state to look after these particular attacks that are happening on the doctor, and they will monitor the number of attacks happening every year in a particular state and sees if the law is working properly or not. The same Central Protection Act also says that a mandatory rule, every hospital, be it private hospital or government hospital, should be having a CCTV surveillance covering all the areas, and in the high risk areas, special police task force should be present in that hospital. See how structured this Central Protection Act by the central government of India, but it is not implemented. And now see how the states are working or handling these kind of attacks on doctors, and I think they might have forgotten that the state had certain laws to protect the doctors. At every level, Central Protection Act is very important for protection of the doctors in the country. These kind of well-structured protection laws are much needed in a country like India, where so much of population is there and so many diseases are there, and health being one of the biggest pillar in India and doctors being the main support of that particular pillar. We need these kind of protection, Central Protection Act laws. And now the doctor should decide for themselves what they want. A strict law that will protect them and also let them work peacefully in the hospitals, or let them go on strikes and protest every month. I think every doctor has a right to ask. We don't want another incident like the attack that happened in Kolkata, attack that happened in Kerala, attacks happened in Andhra Pradesh, attack happened in Delhi. All these happened just in the span of 3 to 4 months. Even the common people should know what they want. Letting the doctors stay on the roads for strikes and protest. If doctors go on strikes and protest every month, that is the biggest loss for you people only, because as they stop OPDs, as they stop running hospitals, you will be not getting proper health care. Instead, you can behave like a normal human being, decide for yourself, and every one of you must understand that no doctor or healthcare professional can really protect you when they are being attacked. I hope this video really helped you understand how the system works with respect to attacks on doctors, and we need a better system, and this is a much needed video for doctors and also citizens of India. So please do share with your friends, family, and keep subscribing to the channel. And this is Dr. JT signing off. Jai Hind.